Hi there, this is Kathy Crow at the Crow Cottage, and today I am not doing a Halloween card. I thought I was going to do Halloween because I really like Halloween and it's this Thursday and all of that, but over the weekend, some stamps that I ordered came. That always inspires me to do something different. And I got this Light and Peace stamp set, which is a Christmas one in the holiday catalog right now. But you know what? When I didn't get this actually as a Christmas one. Um, Even though it clearly is, you might think it would be hard to use it any other way. The sentiments are all Christmas. The only Bible verse is glory to God in the highest, which, for me, I think I can use that in many ways. But may this Christmas bring you light and peace. I don't know. I might not be able to use that any other way, but just the concept of light and peace I really like. And right now in our our catalog, hi Marty, we have a bunch of stars. We have the so many stars, and I think we have still a Twinkle Twinkle set. We have a lot of star things. So I think light and peace is a phrase I can use. And it does have Christmas blessings on it, and blessings is a word I can use too, although I do have that in numerous other sets. The reason I got it was because I like these little sheep. Thank you for sharing, Marty. I really do appreciate that very much. Thank you. I hope you got your gift. Because you didn't even win last week. Oops, I was thinking you did. Somebody else did. Okay, so here it is. It's called Light and Peace. It's in the holiday catalog. So we are using the sheep. We are not using the shepherd today. So if you looked and saw on my page what card we were doing, that's the card we're doing. You could peek right now if you want to. But I also am going to show you some other things that you could do with it, because I like pastoral scenes. I just like those things. So anyhow, I am going to flip down the camera. And this morning, I was having fun reading some Babylon Bee, so I might share some of those with you. They are so funny, hilarious, in fact. So I hope that you know everything I am saying is... Oops, my phone. Oh, I hope we're back. I'll have to check and make sure. My phone did not like what I was doing. I have to be so careful with it. It's like a little child that... Well, I don't know. Most of our kids were all pretty durable. We had one who I won't even say that person's name. We all know who he is. Because I'm sure I've told this story on him before. He was the only one that when I would gently lay him down to change his diaper, would cry. It didn't matter how I would take his little head, I'm being as careful. It was on a cushion, for heaven's sake. And I would just ease my hands out like, please don't be upset. And he did get over it within probably a few weeks. It just seemed like it lasted a long time. Okay, so I am kind of raising us up a little bit high here. I just want to make sure I have everything in, because I tend to go to the side. So I did bring out a whole bunch of sets to go with this. I am going to possibly use the trees with Winter Woods. I was thinking of playing around with a sheep with a garden shed. This is one of my favorites. I think the sheep would look really good in front of your barn. Maybe even with this little guy or the tractor, but I think that the sheep will go really nicely. This is an old retired one, Golden Afternoon, and the tree is nice. I actually, for this card, am using Sheltering Tree. That one also is a retired set, but I liked the little rake in that set. So that is what we are going to start with today. And these are my classes. I'm going to just put it to the side, and you will see it eventually, I'm sure. Okay, so anyhow, let me move some of my other things out of the way. Because I sort of just piled everything on my desk and didn't really pay attention to what was going on here too much this morning. I was busy. It's cold here today, very cold. The wind picked up a little bit, but now the sun's come out, and so maybe it's going to be a little bit nicer. One of the pieces that I'm going to use in this card, and here is the card that we're doing, it is this little strip at the bottom, and that is in the Stitched Be Mine dies. I crossed out our old name. I think they just reversed the, used to be called Be Mine Stitched, and now it's Stitched Be Mine, I think, or I wrote it wrong. It's possible. But what it does, it has this nice little strip in it. There's tons of nice hearts. They're all stitched. I love them. But this little trim piece is so cool. I like it. And I do use it pretty often. It's, this is how it looks, you know, when you, well, I don't know if you can see because of the way my light is here, but it just does this nice little edge, and then to take it off like I did, you can just trim it, but it also makes a really nice edge for your card if you just want to do a simple front on your card. I've already got that one done, so I'm not going to have to do it again. So I'm going to put that to the side. And right there. All right. So what we are doing to start with, let me get some of my things out of the way. I've got my piles kind of going, and the problem is if I put them too far out of the way, I will totally lose them. All right. Marty, I saw your picture of your lake. Is that the lake you live on? It sure looked pretty. I loved it. It looks like you have a lot of really nice fall foliage all over the place. That must be so enjoyable for you to be looking at. I would love that. My our trees are really nice too, but we had a lot of wind over the weekend, so the wind took down almost all the leaves off of our burning bush. There's still a lot of nice leaves out there, but I was sorry. That one's probably, other than my maple that's right out here, it's the brightest one in our yard. So when all the leaves are off of that one, that's just always sad, but it does go pretty fast. That's just the way it is. Yeah, I bet it is beautiful. That was a gorgeous picture. All right, I like that. Do you have the garden shed set too, Marty? I really like that one. It is pretty. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get my cutting board out here. I've been using it a lot. This weekend I did, at our church, we had our Heaven Sent Cards event. This is the first time I've done that event at our church, which just because it's been a little bit hard for me to figure out exactly how to use our resources at our church, you know, in a way that's honoring to everyone. Oh, good. You do have it. Awesome. You know, and use it as a fundraiser for the things that I do at our church, because most of these cards go to the people that are at our church or someone related to them. And so to recover some of the cost of that, so I don't have to charge our church, you know, it's one of the reasons I'm doing this business. And anyway, it's just been hard to figure out how to do events at our church and have money come in for it, but not have it come to me. That's just been difficult. So this is the first time I have actually done it. It worked out beautifully. We didn't have so many people come that I would have been uncomfortable with that. So it worked out great. Anyhow, so the cutting board's gotten a lot of use, and I do really like this deep blade. It is nice, and I like the way this arm is swinging out. It's just more user friendly, I'm finding. So it looks like the width of my card is 4 3/4 inch. I kind of thought I made it a little bit wider than I normally do. So I'm gonna cut that one, and this one might be on the short side though. Oh, it is, which isn't really going to work. So I'm going to quickly grab another sheet of white cardstock so I can recut that to be more the size that I need it to be. I've kind of moved some things around here on around my desk so that I can reach things a little bit better when I'm doing these Facebook Lives. And that way, if I don't have everything I need, I can grab it a little easier. Okay, so 4 3/4 inches wide is what our card is. And then I don't know if this is going to be long enough, though. Even so, if I do it like that. Oh, fiddlesticks. I probably am going to need to get a... Don't worry. I will use all of my white paper. It's whenever I cut things badly, it doesn't ever really matter because I am definitely going to be using that sheet. I'm not sure where I got a white. I know I have a white 12 by 12 here somewhere, but it's a little bit harder to reach from where I am. Okay, got it though. Okay, so now got our 12 by 12 inch sheet. And we'll give that a try. It can't be any bigger than that. I used to have some cardstock that was 17 by 11. But I used it all up and I haven't bought any more, so I'm sure this is fine. Okay, let me put some of my extra cardstock away that I've got laying all over the place. All right, so since it is that way, now I've got it folding this direction, but I really wanted it folding the other way. I happen to have this already done, and that's why I used it that way. Excuse me, I have a terrible cough coming up here. Hopefully that will go away. All right, so now that we've done that, let's see how long my card is. It is 9.5 inches long. Okay. 9.5. Oh, I need that back out. I don't know why I put it away. Okay, so 9.5 inches approximately. I hope that's correct. That still seems not quite right because I forgot I'm doing it this way. I'd better just score it, or I won't even score it. This is pretty thin, and so I believe I can just fold it. And let's just eyeball that because that's even on the, it's a good thing I didn't cut it, or I would have had to have cut it again. This is going to work. So that is actually 4 3/4 by 12. And then I just, if I had scored it, it would have been at 6 inches. Yeah, I do need a drink of water. I had last week when I had a doctor's appointment because he's been checking my thyroid medication, dosage quite a bit, and thankfully that is good. And he said he wasn't going to mess with it anymore. I was so grateful. And anyway, they offered me the shingles vaccine while I was there, and I was very much wanting that. Because I've known several people who have had the shingles, and it's actually very devastating to people. So I was grateful to be able to get that. And he said that it would probably just give me some, maybe some muscle aches, or, just some muscle aches, or, just general achiness, but nothing, no rash, nothing like that. I'm looking for my Cajun Craze because I thought I had everything there, but I don't. So, okay, so there's my Cajun Craze. And so, anyhow, the only thing that I didn't notice any muscle achiness, except for, of course, where my arm was shot. Where he shot my arm, it was very sore, but other than that, I didn't notice anything. But I think that's what's giving me this little sore throat. I can't imagine anything else having done it. All right, so before I get to any of that, I think I wanted to make sure I had my colors. I'm using Pretty Peacock and Cajun Craze as my background colors. But I'm going to go ahead and stamp this image, but I want to make sure my paper is big enough. Yep, that looks big enough. So we'll move that to the side. All right, so I know you have probably done this sort of thing before, so it's not going to be, you know, terribly earth-shattering or anything, but it's just kind of neat to see how easy this is to do. So I'm going to just take this. I don't want the star and I don't want the shepherd. I just want your basic sheep and hills. So I could just use a marker and mark around where I want it, but that actually is just going to be too much trouble for me. I'm not going to do it that way, and we'll see how it works. I'm going to just use my Simply Chamois and wipe off the parts that I don't want, and we'll see what happens. If I don't like it, I can always, you can do the masking technique where you cut out the part that you don't want. But this is how I did it. Since I'm putting a tree where he is, it's not that big of a deal if it's not perfect, because there's going to be a tree going right where he was. So I'm just going to wipe off the ink off of the shepherd, and it does wipe off the hill a little bit too, which actually is fine, because again, your tree is going to go there. So, and some of the sheep gets wiped off, doesn't really matter, it's going to be fine. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of wipe it a little. I don't want a bunch of water where I wiped that. And I noticed when I did it before, his feet got in there a little bit, but I just put some grass on it. Okay, so we're gonna just kind of stick it on here, because I can trim my paper to wherever I want it. Okay, so I can see him a little bit, but that just means I'm going to be putting my tree right there. I might do another one just to have something else to play around with while I'm here. This time, I think I'm going to go ahead and just I'm going to wipe him down a little bit better, and then I'm going to try inking, I'm going to try not inking him. And because you can use your stamp pad and just kind of ink around what you don't want, and then wipe away the part that you're going to end up stamping some of it. And I mean, you're going to end up putting ink on some part of what you don't want. That's just inevitable. So then we'll just wipe that little bit away again. I'll get his face better. Last time it looked like his head was showing some. So you're probably thinking, oh, it'd be much faster just to mask. You just stamp your image, cut it out, put mask, and that is very easy to do. I just didn't feel like doing that when I was working on it this weekend, and it actually was pretty easy to do it this way. So all right, so we will try again and see if I can get a little bit better impression without the shepherd's head in the way. Much better. Okay. Oh, my sheep didn't come out as good, though. I might have to use a marker to fill him in a bit. Now, you can alter your stamps, If you never are going to use your shepherd, you could easily just cut him out. I would never do that. I would never do that. It's always going to be pretty easy to just wipe ink away. And I am going to want to use it for Christmas sometime, I'm sure. I don't know, probably not this year. I've already got a bunch of Christmas cards already made, so I don't know that I'll be using him that way this year, but who knows? You never know. All right, so now we're going to get out the Sheltering Tree. I love this set. This is a retired set, and I'm terribly sorry that it is, because it's one that I've used a lot. I really like it. It's easy to use. It's really pretty. Maybe before I do it, I should ink up my sky. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to work on this one because I like the sheep, and I can't see that one as well on this one. So we'll just do that. And now one of the ladies in my class told me this weekend when she was here, because I did I did a class. I don't remember what we did, but we did a class on Friday, and she said sponging the sky was actually pretty hard for her. I'm not really sure why. I'm going to use Pool Party. It's going to be a little darker, but I'll just make sure that I sponge here before I work onto my card. So if you just start on the side and kind of work your way up. I told her it's supposed to be fast. Actually, this is supposed to be the fast way to do this. That's ideally what it's supposed to be. Is quicker to sponge than to, and and then you don't get all these lines. Now I'm getting some lines, but that's okay because I'm going to cover a lot of that with a tree. And I never just leave it as like that. I like to put some blue on it. So I'm going to use, this is Copic Blue 000. And then that just kind of is a quick way to add some blue to it. Okay, that's good. I don't need very much. And I want my sheep to stay nice and white down there, so it's nice to do it on white. And then we're gonna get I used ivory on the hills, so we'll just do the hills right now. Oh, that looks dark. I don't think I did use ivory. I think I used something else. Let's try E42. Oops. Yeah, that's a little lighter. It's about the same, actually. I think there was probably a lighter color that I used, but that's okay, so work. Doesn't really matter. Let's see. All right, now the green that I used, though, I know was not a Stampin' Up! Green because we don't have one that's that light. And so I probably used this yellow green. It's fall scene, so I don't really necessarily want it to be too bright. But on the other hand, I need to be able to see my oranges when I stamp those trees. So this is G12, and so I don't really want it to be a blue green. So anyway, this is kind of a blue green. I could probably get our mint macaroon out for this color because this is looking the same as that. All right, I'm grabbing one of this is the lightest green that we have, light mint macaron. Other than soft sea foam, I think soft sea foam's actually a little lighter, but it definitely is a very gray one. So we'll just use the mint and see what happens. I could sponge here too, And if I don't like what this looks like, then I'll just go over it with a sponge. Now I'm going to wait to do all of this. I want to see where my tree goes and how it works. And I put some new ink on my soft suede and got way too much. And then I ended up trying to take some of it off today, and I don't know. I'm not really sure how it's going to ink up. It's inking weirdly now. Not really sure what I did. If I got water in it, this is what it looks like. It looks like I've got water in my, I might have to buy a new soft suede ink pad. I think I've totally ruined the one I had. Okay, it looks okay. It's just really super messy. So anyway, I took my bone folder and scraped the extra ink off, tried to get it into my ink bottle. Of course, that did not work. Oh, good, Marty. I'm glad you like the color combo. Of course, didn't get in the ink bottle. I had this temerity, at least, to put on. I thought about putting on rubber gloves. So I had those disposable rubber gloves on. So at least I didn't get brown ink all over my hands. But it didn't make it into the ink bottle, that's for sure. Okay, so now I'm going to take out the little rake. And there's actually little extra leaf pieces. And do you have this sheltering tree too? Because it is pretty. It is very nice. And then there's this, the big leaf canopy. And I used a few colors on this one. Put my little pieces over here. I used, of course I used pumpkin pie. So let's grab, I used terracotta tile. I used pumpkin pie. I think I might have used some real red. I used real red. I think that's all I used. I don't think I used yellow, but we're going to start with the pumpkin pie. And I think I need to re-ink this one too, but I'm definitely going to be more cautious. I am not going to go crazy with that ink bottle. As you can see, I'm pushing pretty good on there. This is one of the old ink pads. So now when you're doing these leaves, I love this set because this is a really good one for beginners to use. You do not have to be careful about how you're doing it. It's going to look good no matter what you do. And oh, good. Yeah. So, Marty, I hope you like this idea. You might have sheep in another set. It's not a new concept at all, but I like the grouping. And I actually looked back to see, because I have a lot of Stampin' Up! Stuff. Now, I'm not going to stamp in the same place, obviously. I'm not even going to, I'm deliberately trying not to. I thought I had an old shepherd and sheep set, and I never did find it. So I don't know if I gave it away, or if I just still haven't gotten to that box, or if I'm imagining that. It's possible that I'm imagining that there was a shepherd and sheep, but I thought I had one already. But a lot of times when you have these stamp sets and you think you're going to be able to use it with something else, when I do, it's totally out of proportion. These sheep are perfect for all of these trees that we're using. Okay, so that came away. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love it. That looks just like the trees outside. Well, the nice ones anyhow. And then I'm going to just use the same idea with the little tiny leaves on this little tiny stamp. Get one of my little block out. And then I'm gonna need to color though before I do that. So now that I did that, we'll get our light mint macaron out again. Okay, I might have to actually use my little nib around the sheep a little bit so that I don't go on to them. When I was little, we lived on a farm that had sheep. We didn't own the sheep, but my dad was an accountant, and he actually was hired to be the accountant for the Overstreet, I think was their name. Kind of forget now. And really nice people. So they had a house on there for us. So we lived. It was a really lucrative deal, I'm sure. We lived there in Indiana, and for just a year or so, I loved it because I was able to hike around in the woods. I remember it being really beautiful there. It was gorgeous. We had a quarry nearby that my mother told me never to go to, which I snuck to one time, but my brother would take. It was okay if he took me, so he took me once in a while. It was fun. Anyway, the sheep I know are very stupid, and people like to, mock how stupid sheep are and all, and they are, but they're actually pretty fun too. I mean, they're animals. What can you expect? Okay, so I think my grass is in there pretty good. That's not all we're going to do with the grass, but you could just leave it like that. But before I do anything else, I want to add my leaves. So I'm just going to put some red leaves around, and then I'll probably put some orange. Probably try to do a little more orange than red. Which is pumpkin pie, actually. Okay, so here's one of my, you need to see if you have some sheep. Yeah, you should. You should see if you have some sheep. Do you know the Bach tune, Sheep May Safely Graze? One of my favorite songs. I used to play it quite a bit. It was one of my favorite. It's considered a Christmas hymn, but, I like it all year long myself. That's what this scene reminds me of. So even though it doesn't have it's not going to have a Christmas sentiment, and it's not going to have a religious sentiment, other than I did put a little blessed up in the corner. Other than that, it's not an overtly Christian card, but it does still give the thought of peace and joy, which actually does come from Christ. Okay, so now I'm going to grab, let's see, we need, I think I probably used Pear Pizzazz. So I'm trying to get a little bit of a fall color there. I don't want it to be too bright of a green. Now the leaves, the grass that comes with Sheltering Tree is really tall. So I'm only going to do just the tips of it. And then where my shepherd was and where the trunk of the tree is, I'm just adding in some little leaf blades. And then just maybe a little bit around the sheep, just to kind of make it all go together. Not be so obvious. Okay, if you get some ink on your little sheep, like I have probably done, it happens. when you're coloring big amounts like that. Then, oh, Trudy joined us. Awesome. Hi, Trudy. How are you? I did not see that you came on. It's nice that, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. So, you can use your blending pen to get off your, or not blend it, your color lifter. I mean, let's see, where is it? Where is my color lifter? Huh. I only have 3 color lifters because I just bought a bunch and I can't find one of them in here. What in the world did I do with them? I probably took them somewhere and oh my goodness. Well, it's a good thing I don't really need it because I don't even see them. My sheep actually look pretty good. But another thing you can do if you did get some ink is get a gel pen. A white gel pen can work wonders over when these sheep. I do want them to be very white. Although if you know anything about sheep, they certainly aren't gonna. They look good if you've just cleaned them, but their wool doesn't look all that nice sometimes. I'll have to redo that guy's little eyes. He got a little bit muddied up there. Most of my sheep look pretty good. I think I cut the head off of that one, but it looks like it's just turned around. It's just behind, so I think it's fine. And I'm going to just put this little sheep's eye back in. There. Okay. Very good. And, all right. Now we're going to do our rake. And I just used our Memento Black for that. But then I went over, actually I used black, and then I used my silver to brighten it up. And I don't know, I'm thinking it might be nice to have a brighter color for it. Maybe I'll use our Pretty Peacock, and we'll see how that looks. If I can find it. We'll do it on the, we'll do it right there. You'll be able to see it pretty well. Okay. Okay, now that we've done that, we're gonna take this and see what one of these other trees is going to look like if I stuck one of the other trees in. Like we've got, you know, you could take your winter woods and you could probably put those in there. Since it's a row of trees, that might be a little bit trickier. I got my golden afternoon out because I thought it might be interesting to see what it would look like with these sheep. So let's have a little peek. There's a lot of foliage at the base of that tree. Now, I'm not so sure about that. Those hills are very barren. So I am not so sure about that. The little shrub might actually work better. This golden afternoon set does have some really nice birds that you could put in the sky. That actually might look better. So I am not so sure about that. Maybe, maybe not. All right, so let's get out our winter woods and check that out. If we did just 2 of these, maybe. Let's give it a go and we'll see how it looks because I don't really care if it doesn't turn out. It'll be fine. I've already got the one that we're using on our card, so I don't really have to make that one up. Now we do want, I'm not sure if we want my very soggy, I don't think we want my soggy soft suede. So let's grab our early espresso. I think I'm going to manage the ink a little bit better on this one. And my stamp's not staying on very well. I need to put some more repositionable ink, glue on that. Okay, so I'm just going to do half of those. Oops, I got the other one too. Only a part of it. Rats. If I was doing my Stamparatus, it wouldn't matter because I could easily fix it. But since I'm not doing my Stamparatus, that one's probably not going to work very well for me. I'm not sure that I like it anyway. I like that, but those are pretty straight up and down. This I'm thinking for this stamp, I've used it. And I actually really like it as let's see if I can find the one that I did with it. Like more of an artsy form, trees, artsy, fartsy, they used to, I've heard people say. It's more of that kind of a tree. But I have seen it done with some really great, backgrounds and people have done all kinds of things with it, so it isn't really limited, but I haven't played with it enough to really feel comfortable with it. Okay, so then you're gonna need to all right, good. Thank you, Trudy. Thanks for sharing. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna just fussy cut around the little rake. And there's nothing you can do to avoid that. It would be nice if every single stamp set came with a die, but I couldn't afford it even if they did, so. So it's just as well that it doesn't. And it really, as long as you're not cutting out 100 cards, then it doesn't take too long to do it. It's time consuming and just a little bit tedious. And the little pieces get lost. All right, so now we are going to put away some of my things so I can see what's going on here. Don't really need all of this on this desk. All right, so are you ready for... Thank you, Marty. Are you ready for a Babylon Bee? Now, have you ever heard of Babylon Bee? Do you know what it is? It's a fake news site. I mean, it's a deliberately fake news site. They do funny things. Like, I think a few weeks ago, people shared on Facebook that let's see, it was a lot of times it's like a church related kind of humor. People kept, what was it? Something about, they kept confusing sliding into first with I don't remember. Anyway, that one I don't remember. But today I was looking at it and I saw some really funny ones. Like, there was movies that don't have some guy. And now, do you know who Michael Bay is? I have no idea because I do not ever take time to know anything about popular culture. We don't watch movies much that are new. We only watch old ones, and so I'm woefully out of touch with reality in many ways. So I had no idea who it was. I was wondering what he made so that maybe I'd have something to have reference there. I do not know. But the joke is that Michael Bay said that unless a film had at least 537 explosions, it wasn't real cinema. Which I thought, yeah, I could actually, that sounds like something somebody might actually say and think. They might not know that was a joke. Yeah, I don't know who he is. I'm sure if I knew who he was, I'd say, oh, ick. I would never watch any of his films anyway, but I don't know because I have no clue. So here's a little tiny glue dot, and I am going to just stick that on the back of the bottom of my rake, and we'll lay my rake against the tree so such a way that hopefully it looks as though it's resting there. Okay. Now I used my silver painty pen because I'd done it in black and it wasn't really showing up against the trunk, but this peacock one's showing up pretty well, so I don't think I need to do that on this one. So we'll just put those little blue dots away. I might need to get them out again though in the future. All right, now where did I put all of my pieces? Let's stick those up there. This is going to go on Cajun Craze. So we'd better cut that one out first. Now I'm going to just go ahead and glue it down, and then I will cut around it. It's actually a little easier for me to do it that way. Since I have kind of reconciled myself with Tombow. Sometimes I resort to my other glue, but we'll just try to stick with Tombow today. We'll see how it works. Okay, so there we go. It actually, it glues down a little quicker than my Contraband one does. It's just that when I cut, I don't always cut as even, exactly where I need it to be. And then I can't slide it around. If I had my other glue, I'd probably still have some sliding time there. But I am managing to cut it pretty well, so that's good. We're going to put that one also. I ran this through our subtle embossing folder already. I don't know if you can tell that, but it just gives a little bit of dimension to this. Ooh, I forgot to leave a little bit of a bottom. I wanted to leave a little bit of a bottom there. So I think I might go ahead and just add another little layer of because that I can do that. It's not gonna interfere. I'm not using dimensionals, so it doesn't really matter. So we'll just stick that right on there, and that'll give me that little extra at the bottom that I want. So just trim that off. And it doesn't matter what the size is. This is just totally, this does matter though. I need this to actually fit on this white card pretty well. So let me refresh my memory. I think this was 4 3/4 by 6. So we will need this to be, let me get the edges off first because my embossing folder didn't go quite to the edge there. And that's where it stopped. Let's make sure that it isn't too short though. Okay, that's fine. So then I at least will know where I want it to all be embossed, and the edges look good. Okay, so we need this to be 4 1/2. Okay, 4 1/2 by 5 1/2. Oh no, 5 3/4. Ooh, that chewed it up a bit. We'll have to take just a tiny bit off. Because I have embossed it with that subtle, it sort of is chewing it up a little bit. That's sad. We'll maybe turn it over so that my when I put this on, maybe I can get it to conceal where it got chewed up, like a dog got to it or something. Yeah, thank you, Marty. I love this pretty peacock and Cajun Craze. And I know other people are not necessarily so thrilled with Cajun Craze, but I really like it. It's a great sort of a subtle, more subtle contrasting color with all of our pinks right now that are more of a peachy pink. Like that terracotta tile, our calypso, our coral calypso, all of those. They're really nice coordinating colors with it. Okay, so then now we can just put some glue on here. And now I'm putting that at the bottom so that my little label will cover up where the dog chewed my corner. My virtual dog. Okay, so here's another one of the Babylon bees. It said multiple sources accuse Donald Duck of coming onto movie sets without his pants. Now that was actually one of their less humorous ones, kind of funny. In fact, I bet, unfortunately, there's a lot of kids who won't even know who Donald Duck is, which is very sad. Now that, to me, is the saddest part, but I thought that was pretty funny. Here's another good one. To ensure maximum suffering, Hell's film library to contain only Christian movies. I thought that was pretty good. Okay, now I took our stitched Be Mine dies and cut out an edge of crumb cake with this die. And that's what this piece over here is. Okay, I cut that out. And now I'm going to just trim it because it just does this nice scalloped edge when you do that. So I just need to trim that off. Oh, let me get rid of some of my pretty peacock pieces that kind of just got eaten by. It wasn't the cutter. I'm pretty sure it was the operator. Because this paper is fine. It's cutting beautifully. Ooh, I didn't trim it very straight though. Ooh, that's going to be hard to fix too. Dang. Rats. I don't know if I can fix that without a scissors because it's just going to be sliding around. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. I know you have a really busy schedule right now, so I feel very privileged that you would take the time to check us out. Make sure you share the video, and then I can put you in the drawing for next week. Okay, so since I cut that so crookedly, I need to trim it. You know, the sad thing is that unless this works, I'm going to just have to start over and do another die cut because I don't think I can do this. I can't hold it and do it. And if I put it in the machine, I'm afraid it's such a slim piece. It's going to just chew it up. Okay, I think that might be as good as it's going to get. So let's look. Okay, so this goes here like that. And then this is going to go here. That's going to be fine because there's going to be a lot hanging off so I can get the part that doesn't look as good more to the side. Okay, so I'm going to glue this on. Everything is just glued on here. I think that my tag at the end is the only thing that I need to put a dimensional on. So this is just pretty quick and simple. Once you get your grass and your sky colored, you know, and if you can get your sheep on there the way you like it, it actually is pretty fast card to do. Okay, so we'll put a little strip of glue right here at the bottom. To put my little stitched Be Mine. What was it? Stitched Be Mine. Stitched Be Mine scallop border, I'm sure is what that would be called. And then we'll trim off the end and find amongst all of my pieces, all of my little label. Okay, so now we're gonna use a dimensional to stick that on, and then that will cover my little sloppy edge. Okay, so we'll just stick a couple of dimensionals on there and there. Hi, Andy. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, oh good. I'm glad you do. I've been using it a ton. I don't know if I would have thought of it so much if it hadn't been for the fact that they already had it kind of color coordinated for us in that Come to Gather paper. They kind of did it, and I might not have thought of it. Now, in this card, I used Crumb Cake, which I had this label already ready to go in soft suede, so I decided to just grab it and use it. But I think I like the Crumb Cake better. It's going to go with that little scallop better, but this is good. One thing I found, I didn't do it with this. Let me pull this down. When you cut out your leaves, it has such beautiful embossed detail to it that it's a shame that it kind of gets lost, you know. And so you can take, I'm trying to find the right marker. You can take a light marker. You want it to be close to what your color is, but it's got to be lighter. So let's look at this. This one's Grapefruit Grove. We're going to see, this is a marker. We're going to see if this is going to do what I'm talking about. That one's a little too light. Let me use the fat side though. Yeah, that might be a little too light. It needs to be a little brighter, so we'll use the Mango Medley. Okay. All right, so if you just take your marker and go over those veins, it's going to make them really pop out. But you don't really want to color the whole thing. I did not do it with this one. I made another card though this weekend and using a bunch of these leaves, and realized as I was doing it that if you do this, it actually just makes these leaves look so much better. This is too light, so I'm gonna grab this is Tangerine Tango. I know I have Cajun Craze, but I'm afraid Cajun Craze might be really dark. So this is Cajun Craze. We'll use the fine tip and see what happens. So we'll do it on the stem. See, that is going to be way too dark. I don't want it to be that dark. I just want it to make those veins pop out. I don't want to have anything stronger than that. So I think this Cajun Craze, or I think this will be too dark too. Not sure if I'm going to be able to show you what I'm talking about, but I have another leaf in here. So let me show you on this one. So we'll grab Crumb Cake. Okay, there's Crumb Cake. It actually looks best if you do it with yellow leaves. You know, if you use Pineapple Punch or Mango Medley for your leaf, and red. And then if you do it with red, then you'll want to use your red on it. Oh, this is real red. Maybe I used a blending pen, but I'm pretty sure I used the marker. I'm gonna get it. I am just still kind of trying to remember, what the heck did I do? Is this still seeming pretty dark? This one, now that it's drying, that is not the combination I used, I know. So we'll get that one out of there. I know I used a blending pen on one, but I just couldn't, so it must have been that Crumb Cake piece. But it could have been the yellow one too, but anyway. So you're kind of I'm sure you're getting the idea. It really looked good on pumpkin pie on pumpkin pie. I have one in there. Why don't I just get that out and show you? Okay, so here's a little pumpkin pie. And if I can only find my pumpkin pie, it's sort of buried in here. Okay, so there's pumpkin pie. You may have seen a Pinterest card. Anyway, I am going to post mine today or tomorrow that I made over the weekend, where I did a card with a bunch of these. Actually, I think I might have done 2 or 3. I just can't really remember. And it turned out, these leaves turned out really pretty. So just go to my Pinterest page at some point in time and look at the Come to Gather, or Gather Together board, I think is what my board is called. Okay. Oops. So that, when it dries, looks pretty good. And maybe pumpkin pie on here is what I'm hoping for. Let's try it. I'm sorry, I'm taking some time here I didn't really expect to do. I just thought of this as I was doing it, because when I did this card before, I had not really played with this, so didn't realize what a difference it actually makes. It makes those veins pop out really nice, and it doesn't take that much time to do. It's a little time consuming, not too bad. Okay, so we'll get rid of those markers. It also gives me a reason to grab my markers out. I don't use them all that often, and then I feel bad that they're drying up on the side over here, and I'm not even using them. And then, oops, where did my little label go? There you are. On here I used vanilla, but we're going to use Whisper White. And I love this little Oh Happy Day. Okay, now where in the world did I get that little Oh Happy Day from, though, is the question. Let's see if I can find you. I cannot. I did not get you out. Maybe you are a thoughtful banner. I bet you are. Let's see. We've got Happy. You are not a thoughtful banner. I thought maybe you were, but no, you are not. Huh. I can't remember what stamp set I got that from. I should have written it down, because I don't think it's any of my itty bitty ones. Let's look. I can do something different. Have a Lucky Day might be good. I don't know. Let's see. All right, so we are going to do Sending Prayers. I know I need to use that one anyway. This May God Bless and Keep You is nice. Maybe I'll do that one as a switch up. I don't use that one a lot. So I think that will fit on there just fine. Okay. Hopefully I didn't mess anything up with it. I have that camera down so far. And we want to use Cajun Craze for that, to match our... Oh, that's a stiff guy going in and out. Wow, what happened to you? He must have got warped or something. I've used this a lot and never... Oh, is it out? No, it's in. I better get some wax and stick it in the sides there, because that's ridiculous. Okay. Well, stamp that. Oh, you are stiff. And then we'll put... Oh, this just gets glued on there. And then our leaf and that card is done. I do have one other one I was going to do. Let's see if I have time to do it. That is a good one, isn't it, Michelle? It's a good one with these sheep. Now, I do... Oops, sorry, that is so loud. This is actually a tag, a part of an assortment I bought a long time ago. But this would actually be easy to make. This is just vellum, and you could use a stitched rectangle or a rectangle or a punch or anything with silver cardstock and make this. It's be very simple to make. I'm actually just going to use this though because I have it and I want to get rid of these. I've had them a long time. They're really cute. I didn't want to just throw them away. I like how I can see the tree through there. And I can put, on this one, I can put a whole, that blessed can just be there without it being cattywonkers. But probably I'm going to go ahead and use my sending prayers instead here. Let's see, there it is. So I need that stamp out. The thing about stamping on vellum that is a problem is that it can smudge. Now, it's very dry now, so it's not. But you want to wait a long time before you rub on it. It takes a long time for it to dry really well on vellum. You could use your heat gun and heat set it, and that would help. This actually has this little raised frame around it, so I'm hoping this will stamp well. I'm not sure that it's going to. Pretty good, but I have to be super careful now because it's going to be really wet. And if I touch that at all, it's going to smudge and be totally ruined. But I'll try to be careful. Putting my glue on. With vellum, you can always see the adhesive under it, so that's one reason I like this little frame. I can just put my glue right on that frame, and the adhesive doesn't show at all. If I'd centered my sentiment better, that would even be cuter. But I would have had to have stuck my head right in between the camera and you to get it centered properly. And it's good enough. I'm fine with it. It's today. I think today I must. Maybe I didn't have any coffee yesterday. No, I did. I had 1 cup of coffee. I feel very relaxed today. It's like I don't care, so that's not straight. So that's not quite right. So the sheep's head got cut off. Whatever. Today it's like I'm fine with it. It is good. I don't really care. It looks cute. I do like the a happy day better though. I do like that better. In fact, I probably might even go find that stamp and stick it on there and redo it. I wouldn't be at all surprised if that's what ends up happening. I am going to really quick, before I'm done here, I wanted to show something to you. I love these little plaid. These are our little plaid packs. They have gold on them. Anyway, I have this extra tranquil tied frame already done, and I had some gold that I was playing around with and did this little, I cut out an oval and then decided, well, I needed a smaller oval. So I did that. And when you are going to put a backing on anything like this is what I'm going to do. I could do this too. It wouldn't matter, but whatever you do, you can, if you're gonna use your gold or silver, any of your more expensive cardstock as a frame, make sure you do something with your centerpiece. Unless you don't mind just throwing pieces away, basically, because nobody can see that back, so you can use that. So I am going to just take this card. This is just your basic 4.5 by 4 1/4, I mean by 8 1/2. And we're gonna put this little perfectly plaid on it. I don't even think we'll do any ribbon. So if our card is 4 1/4, we wanna cut this at approximately, we'll do it right at 4. And at 5 1/4. And then that will give me, I'm hoping, the size that I want here for this. Okay, so these plaids are just so easy to do. There's the cute little reindeer on the back. It's been hard for me to use this paper up because I like both sides. They're both so cute. So if you're looking for a way to do some quick Christmas cards, these plaids actually very easy to do. Okay, so we've got that down. Now we're gonna put this little frame on. I think before I do that, I want to put I'm gonna put it behind. I'm gonna put this is sweet. This is a subtly embossed piece of cherry cobbler. Oh, I got, no, got ink all over that. Might switch it out. The problem with, glue, I got glue all over my, if I had used my other glue, this wouldn't be an issue. I do have, I think there's a glue eraser you can get. This is not it, but someone told me at my card thing that I did yesterday that she has a glue eraser that she got probably on Amazon. And she said that it will erase Tombow. Now, I don't have it. So I don't think this is gonna do the job, because you would need something that's gonna really get that off, and that is not gonna do it. I think I can do it, but I'm not gonna take the time to do it right now. So we will just get another piece going here. This time I'll try to be more careful. Maybe I won't use that. Maybe I'll use my snail instead. Might have a little more luck that way. Now this frame's gonna look a little different than I wanted it to, because I'm having to grab out a different scrap, but it's the same idea. And then I'm gonna have to cut my layering oval out. Let me see here, which one we need. Let me cut that out really quick. Or maybe I can just rescue the one I've got here. Use it. Let's see if we can. I don't know if it's big enough. I might need a bigger oval to do what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna have to cut a bigger oval. That one's not going to be big enough. All right. That one's that one. I should probably just start from the very beginning again. There you are. Oh, excuse me. All right. I'm gonna reach my arm across and get my oval cut out. Okay, so there's a better oval. Oops, now I'm gonna have to fussy trim. But at least I don't have glue all over it, thank goodness. Okay, there we go. All right, so move some of my things that fell down out of the way. That one's all sticky now and ruined. Okay, back to this. All right, so that is gonna go there. And now that I've had all of these issues, I've lost all of my papers that I was using because I think I just threw them aside. I am trying to find my Tranquil Tide that I had handy, I thought. We are going to just punch out our Tranquil Tide from that. But you could also do it from your gold. That would look really pretty too. And put your little tree on there like that. Okay, the problem is I'm losing all of my belongings here. Okay, so that's going in there, that's going in there, and then my label's gonna go on here too. I'm just eyeballing it because I haven't actually made this card yet. I'm just trying to figure out how I want these pieces to go. And I've got like glue and stuff stuck on there. All right, so that is just an idea. I'm still playing with it. What do I want to do with it? No, it's got to be like this. I always like things crooked, but with this little frame, it doesn't really look good crooked. It kind of needs to be straight. But I need to trim this. It's too big. So now that I know that, I can just do it. All right, so we will put dimensionals on the back of our, this is our Woven Heirlooms frame. And the frame is, you emboss it first and then, or you cut it out first with the die, and then you run it through the embossing machine, and it gives you that wonderful frame. It's really cute. There's an oval one and a rectangular one, and I'm pretty sure I've seen people use this with the Perfectly Plaid tree set before. But it breaks up that plaid really nicely because I really like that plaid. It's kind of strong. Some of them are a little less so. This one seems kind of a strong one. Now I could use my little leaves too, and this would be a really nice autumn plaid, warm plaid shirt. And it goes really, I love the moose with the plaid. The moose with the plaid is really good too. So anyway, as you can tell, I'm just a little enamored with the plaid right now. The plaid's pretty cool. I've been working on so many other things. It took me a while to get to the plaid, but I do like it. Okay, so there's that. I need to trim this. I don't really think it could just go on there like that, but if we're gonna do that, we're gonna want to put more than just one layer for the dimensional. We're going to want to double that up because that single layer is just not going to do it. It's got to lay on top of the frame. You can see I've really got like a mess of dimensionals back down here. It's going to stay really good. That's because it came off onto my thumb, like a whole bunch of them. Okay, so we'll stick that right there, and now that's nicely raised. And then I can put my Christmas sentiment on whatever I want. And I've got other ones, but clearly I want Christmas, right? So I have got Itty Bitty Christmas. Wonder where you are, Itty Bitty Christmas. You're here somewhere. I have other things I could use, but it's got to be something pretty small. Let me put my die down here before I lose it amongst all of the junk that's all over the place. Okay, let's find, no, not that one. There it is, Itty Bitty Christmas. All right, so Itty Bitty Christmas has got Happy Christmas. That's nice. Happy Christmas it is. I like that. Where are you? There you are. Happy Christmas. Perfect. So that we will want to put, what do you think? Tranquil Tide is the color that is the green. If I can find Tranquil Tide, that's what we'll use. Now this plaid actually is probably garden green or something. It's much more green than Tranquil Tide, but that's just too bright for me. I'm going to stick my head right in here because I'm going to send this to people. I want this one to be in the center. All right, very good. I smudged a tiny, but not bad, not enough to worry about it. And if I really didn't like that, I could always, I could probably put a little rhinestone or something on there. No, I wouldn't want to do that though, because actually with this tag, I love this tag. Okay, so this tag is the Timeless Label Punch. And it goes with some stamp set. What does it go with? It goes with the Mosaic one and the Time for Tags stamp set. And you can see it fits this oval really nicely. And the other great thing about that is it leaves these ends for your little rhinestones. And we want some red on there. Okay, so we'll just take we'll take a couple of little red rhinestones. Maybe we'll stick it right there and right there. Okay, just to finish it off. All right. Oh, I love that. It's so cute. So cute. All right, so here is another Babylon Bee for you. I hope you have enjoyed these today. Motorcyclist who identifies as bicyclist sets cycling world record. Imagine that. Imagine that. Okay, enough goofiness for the day. I hope you have had a wonderful day. I have a class coming up in November 22. Oh, it's the Yummy Christmas one. I should have gotten out the thing, the little, it's the cuckoo, the Yummy Cuckoo one. The little cuckoo clock, when you pull up its pendulum, the little door flips down. It's really cute. You're gonna love that. And it is it's a sugar house thing, It's a gingerbread house. Oh man. We are not going to be eating gingerbread, but we will have some kind of a goodie, I'm sure, because a gingerbread house has gumdrops, licorice. Oh, what other kinds of things do you need with that? So anyhow, we will have some kind of gingerbread house related goodie to snack on, I'm sure, because I am not dieting anymore. I am having to be careful because I'm like today I had another couple of cookies, and so I have got to be careful because I know that I am still going to be now tomorrow and the next day I have to be really good because I am eating candy for Halloween, and then I am going to be very strict with myself again for a while. But it's going to be several weeks, before that class, November 22. Now next week we have our team meeting is coming up. For those of you who are on the Crow's Nest, one of the Crow's Nest crafters, we have our team meeting, and the day after that our challenge is ending. So make sure you get your cards in for that challenge, because you get a chance for a really nice bundle. So that'll be good. So make sure you do that. Thank you, Andy. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sharing. And tomorrow I'm going to make a note for myself. I will do the drawing for the share for last week tomorrow. I'm sure I will remember, because it's so cold now. Tonight's supposed to be cold. It kind of keeps me inside. So it's easier for me to remember things. So you have a great day, and I will see you next week. Bye.